Yeah, so I think I just answered that, but maybe trying to summarize that no, definitely it's not the best way to serve the needs of humanity, and a system where there's more participation in sort of uh, even in not only in the decision making through this type of German style shared boards, but in the actual ownership of capital. And how do you make more people own capital? Is by giving it to them. And how do you give capital to people that don't have capital? It's by taxing high amounts of capital. So this sounds confiscatory, and people in the right-wing circles would say socialism. Well, it has elements of socialism, but it's not the doesn't need to be the end point where nobody owns property, and property is entirely owned by the state. What I'm describing, and again, I'm highly influenced by the book I just read by Piketty, but it matches with my previous sort of understanding of what was going on, is that there's room for ownership, for private ownership, but highly concentrated private ownership is not the most efficient way of organizing things. So when and progressive taxation is not an abstract, crazy idea. It existed. It existed for a very long time in the United States. It existed a very long time in the UK. And both countries had extremely high growth rates during the time when they had very high taxes. So there's nothing absolutely crazy about that. Now, unfortunately, the Soviet experience with communism was a disaster, and that, in a sense, has tainted the entire discussion about possibilities of shared ownership and redistribution of capital. But it shouldn't. Right, we should be talking about these things in a pragmatic way, and just to conclude, that the idea that something is a slippery slope, and if you start talking about redistribution, you end up with communism, is the weakest possible intellectual argument. The idea that once you open the Pandora box, there is no way to know what's coming out of there. It's lazy. It's absolutely lazy, right? It presupposes that people are not capable of finding an intermediate point between two extremes. And in daily life, we do that, right? We don't only spend all that we earn or save all that we earn. We find an intermediate point between our spending and our saving that satisfies our needs. So if we are able to do this kind of, it doesn't need to be a very sophisticated optimization. We do that in daily life. We find intermediate points in daily life. We can find an intermediate point for society as well.